This venue, a sporting cauldron. We've seen classics, topsy-turvy tales, heroes made, and shocks aplenty. Is something in the air again as Tony Bellew attempts another tremendously hard mission? Or will Oleksandr Usyk prove his complete authority at cruiserweight before catapulting into the magic mix of the heavyweight division? The truth, as always, in the ring. A mighty matchup about to unfold. Here we go.
Wow, what an atmosphere, what a build-up. And here we are in the opening round, the anticipation. We're just on the edge of our seats. This will be tentative early on, I expect Tony Bellew to box and move. Nobody's going to commit early.
The huge physique of the terrific southpaw from Kiev in the Ukraine. How will Bellew come to terms with the southpaw style? He's fought 5 of them through his career. He had trouble with Bob Adjusov. He was stopped by Adonis Stevenson, and he got up off the floor to take out Makabu for the world title at Goodison Park. He says the southpaw style won't be a problem. What about the momentum of Usyk, who's right approaching the top of his game? Tony Bellew, Eddie Hearn and the team say, is getting better and better.
Yeah, it's certainly been a lot more active, Usyk. You know, this follows on from the Super Series, World Super Series of boxing, which he won. He cleaned up a couple of really high quality level fights in that as well. Obviously Tony Bellew coming off the back of the 2 David Haye fights. So we expect him to come in here full of confidence, but he knows this mammoth task in front of him.
Bellew grabbing centre ring and trying to double up the jab. He's always had an authoritative jab. But Usyk has the angles and the movement and the rhythm.
Yeah, Tony Bellew's got good ring awareness. He knows where he is also. You know, he's got bags of experience, amateur and professional, and he knows if he's out of range, he's pretty safe. You know, it's only dangerous when they come together, but he can't sit back and just pot shot and hope to steal a victory against somebody like Usyk, who's so technically proficient and so busy with his work. Doesn't really look for power, Usyk, but Tony Bellew just seems really relaxed and confident and finding a home for that jab early on here. It's a good start really from Tony, but Usyk really just finding his feet.
Trying to get his own rage, Usyk. Nothing landing at all just yet, but Bellew starting confidently. What will happen when Usyk unloads his first meaty combination? Bellew admitted he cannot let himself get backed up, gloves high, and let Usyk unload on him. But does he turn it into a dogfight early, or does he try and counter at range?
I think I'd like to see him sit back at range until something happens. If it's not working at range for Tony Bellew, he needs to then try and close that gap. Usyk we know can box so well behind that southpaw stance, and he's just trying to close that gap now. Usyk just fakes and pouring out with that right jab from the southpaw stance. Southpaws cause everybody problems. I don't care what you say. I mean, doesn't mean you always lose against them, but it's hard to get the sparring against these left-handed fighters.
The Everton colours, Ashley on the waistband, a tribute to the brother-in-law he tragically lost. Wife Rachel in one of the boxes here tonight. She doesn't normally come. Fighting for his family, and maybe for the last time, Tony Bellew. Oleksandr Usyk trying to cement his reputation as the cruiserweight king, the undisputed champion who holds every single belt, and it's the first time ever that all 4 belts have been defended or challenged for on these shores. It's a momentous night. There's Usyk's jab just getting going here in the second.
Yeah, it's a bit of a standoff between these two at the minute, and it's understandable. I mean, there's so much at stake. Tony Bellew punches hard. Usyk will be aware of that from watching the show reel knockouts that he'd been watching on the build-up to this, and Tony Bellew will know that Usyk can box and move very proficiently and, you know, with expertise, so they'll stand off. Usyk will want to step in and walk into something, and Bellew really doesn't need to go for it. The weight of expectation, don't forget, is on Usyk. He's expected to win. He's got all the marbles, all the belts coming into this fight, so Tony Bellew can kind of take his time for a couple of rounds and settle into this.
And the bookmakers giving Bellew little chance. Most of the trade have predicted Usyk by late stoppage or on points. Good shot from Bellew there. Jamie Moore was telling us the other week he fancies Bellew strongly. Adam Booth thinks he's got a really good opportunity here as he tries to work the Usyk body. Bellew talking about that in the build-up, that Usyk's been hurt to the body as an amateur.
Listen, Tony Bellew getting close here with that looping jab that goes over the top of the southpaw jab. It's an awkward shot to defend against from the southpaw once it goes over that reach. But Tony looking for power to the body and landing. Also with the right hand there. This is good work from Tony Bellew early on.
It's an excellent start, and he wants Usyk to engage, and so does the crowd. And how's the Ukrainian going to react?
Well, this is all part of the mind games from Tony Bellew, and this is all part of a performance.
Bellew says Usyk has never been tested properly, never been in deep. Yes, he's unified the division, but he says he's going to land his big punches, and the power will be the difference. It's a confident start, this, from Bellew.
Really confident. He's setting traps here. He's trying to lure Usyk in. He's trying to draw him in so he can land a big counter punch. And here he comes. Tony Bellew not too worried about the power of Usyk, so he's able to take the odd chance. But Usyk, I don't think, will fall into the trap of leading in, but he seems to be looking a bit careless here.
Bellew switching to southpaw, one of the first times I've ever seen that through his long career. He's trying to confuse Usyk, not let him get set. And when they're getting close, he wants to unload. And Bellew says, come on then.
Real confident start here from Tony Bellew. I mean, I'm impressed with what he's doing because he's not doing too much wrong, not making any mistakes.
He's got a very good knack for getting his opponents to do what he wants to do.
Oleksandr Usyk takes centre ring and comes out fast for the third round. There is pressure on those big shoulders. He wants to move up to heavyweight. He wants a shot at Anthony Joshua. That's the dream for the tight team from the Ukraine. This is meant to be the showcase fight.
I was talking earlier and I was saying, you know, don't underestimate Tony Bellew's boxing ability. If he doesn't want to get hit, he's able to drag that foot just back half a step and move in circles, not in straight lines. He's good at it, so Usyk's going to have to create openings. He's going to have to make something happen with his feet. See his feet here, he's bouncing lightly, he's pulling with that southpaw jab and putting pressure on Tony Bellew here. He knows he's got to start to get to work and start to land some shots. So Bellew will be waiting with that right-hand counter there, which wasn't far away from landing with full effect. I mean, he just caught the end of that one there, but as Usyk draws closer, Bellew will be waiting for that counter punch. And if he connects, it's going to cause problems, it really is.
Oleksandr Usyk so supreme as an amateur, 335 wins, only 15 defeats, but it is different against a seasoned pro who's seen all styles, knows the tricks of the 12-round distance. Usyk unbeaten, but he's walking into these right hands.
Good right-hand counter there from Tony Bellew. Nobody expected this. Good head movement, and he just, nonchalantly shakes his hands on his head. Oh, caught a little bit tricky there, Tony Bellew. Got a little bit careless, and there's hand speed there of Usyk showing.
Yep, they swap punches. And the crowd so vociferous in their support and their boos. Many in Britain want Tony Bellew to triumph in his last potential fight, but many in the Ukraine and around the world, including his best mate Vasyl Lomachenko, want Oleksandr Usyk to show what he really can do. Starting to warm up, Usyk. Still a bit cat and mouse, Carl.
Yes, bit of a standoff, bit cat and mouse, like you say. Tony Bellew waiting for the counter. Usyk unsure. He's not confident in committing with anything. And there's Tony Bellew on the attack there and putting Usyk straight away on his back foot.
These right hands are the answer at the moment. And he's avoiding the big left of the southpaw. Utilising his feet really well, Bellew, when most people felt it would be the other way around.
Usyk's had it all his own way his whole career, and all of a sudden he's finding himself in the Lions Den here in Manchester against Tony Bellew, who's got the backing of the crowd. This is unknown territory. Another great...
In a bit of amazement, as is Derek Chisora, who's a big mate of Tony Bellew's. Here's the liver paddling outboxing. The master here. Oleksandr Usyk has plenty of time to get into his work. But can he work Bellew out? He's making it tricky here. And is he winning rounds, Bellew?
He certainly is. I mean, the first round, for me, was even. You couldn't really score anyone to win the first round. It's a bit of a standoff, but...
Oh, big left hand from Usyk. First real success from the World Cruiserweight King. Bellew takes it.
Well, if Bellew switches off against somebody like Usyk, who's very quick on his feet, he's got fast hands, he doesn't look for power. Bellew's looking for power, so that slows the punches down.
But doesn't Bellew want it in a phone box if they trade?
He does. He wants this up close, but he could do getting it up close a bit later when Usyk slows down a bit. So the tactics from Bellew are perfect. Usyk needs to get a foothold in this fight, or he could run away from him, and then late on it becomes Tony Bellew's fight. But Usyk doing the right things here, backing up Bellew. Gonna have to get that jab going, Usyk.
Yeah, he's normally got a one-leg jab. Oleksandr Usyk, who we saw give Vladimir Klitschko loads of trouble in sparring a few years ago. And this is better from the Ukrainian, and he's trying to set up the big left hand.
Well, he knows he's got to change it up now. He's been probably told. That looked like a good right hand there from Tony Bellew. On the blind side of it there, I mean, Usyk's back was to me, but Bellew was in range of that right hand, and that's what he's looking for. That right hand right there.
Big shot from Tony Bellew. And Usyk momentarily troubled halfway through the fourth round.
Well, Tony Bellew knew that he landed that right hand then. He didn't rush in, he's still taking his time, but he won't take too many of them right hands to land to really put Usyk on his back foot in some serious trouble.
Usyk trying to dig the punches in. Left hand gets through. Really engaging session this. Minute to go in the fourth. Well, nice right hand as well. And Usyk just nods appreciation.
Well, really hotting it up now. I mean, Tony Bellew landing big shots, looking for them and landing them as Usyk backs him up. Did they affect him? Is he too worried about this, Usyk? Has he been hurt? We don't know yet, but he will certainly have felt that power. If it's not bothered him, he will keep coming forward.
Still inching forward, Usyk.
If Tony Bellew lands big shots like that and doesn't have much of an effect and starts to feel the pace as it goes on, then it's bad news. Some good work there as Tony Bellew dropped his arms and, you know, got a bit careless.
Nice left hand from Usyk. Back comes Bellew. Both finding their timing and range. And listen to the crowd. Loving it.
Well, Tony Bellew trying to match him in and say, look, I'm as good as you. Whether or not he believes it, he's trying to show that in there.
Who are tables and stop Bute in this very round, the fifth?
That's why boxing is such a wonderful sport. You can look at all the paperwork and, you know, do the statistics on the build-up and look at the history, but at the end of the day, it's a two-horse race and anything can happen.
But how much confidence will that give Usyk, the fact that he began to get to Bellew in the fourth?
Well, Usyk was on his fair share on the receiving end of Bellew's power in that round. He had moments of success, but Bellew landed some good power shots for me, and he was enjoying himself in there, or at least trying to allude to the fact that he was enjoying himself. And Usyk doesn't seem phased, still coming forward, still trying to work on them light feet behind that jab, but he needs to start putting punches together because Tony Bellew's quite happy to sit back and look for that counter.
Very intelligent man, Oleksandr Usyk, writes poetry, loves solving puzzles, great sportsman as well in different varieties. The world title wins. Marco Huck marries Bradis Murat Gassiev. Stopped Huck and went the distance with Gassiev and Bradis. Is Bellew better than them?
Well, you can't really say. I mean, styles, as we know, it's an old cliche, but they really do make fights. And you look at the paper, you look at the you know, the results of fighters and say, you know, he would probably beat him. But you know, nobody's giving Tony Bellew a chance coming into this. And look at the performance we're getting. Usyk now is having to force this and try and get something going, while Tony Bellew's able to sit back and land
good
combinations.
With a left hook from Tony Bellew. Usyk floored in the amateurs with punches like that, but then he took out heavyweights like Joe Joyce. A machine, so many calling him. Usyk looking for a lovely, quick countering left. The class is beginning to show of Oleksandr Usyk. He's getting going.
Well, he's just starting to land with that jab. I mean, Tony Bellew having his fair share of success as well, but Usyk's able to jab and land a couple of backhand from the southpaw position. So Bellew knows now that the pressure's going to start heating up as this fight goes on. Good right hand from Bellew. What Usyk's moaning about there. Good sportsman. You know, there's a lot of respect in there, Adam.
There's been great respect all through the build-up. Right hand from Bellew, just overreaching, and a lovely jab from Usyk.
That's the danger. If Usyk finds a home for that jab, he'll be able to work with combinations off that jab. Tony Bellew does not want to sit there and let a southpaw jab land.
Still the right hands from Bellew. Haven't seen much of the left hook yet. Usyk not allowing that, but that's good stuff from Tony Bellew. And he's got a grip down on his gum shield there, Oleksandr Usyk. It's the fighting man from Liverpool against the polished, beautiful artist from Kiev. Let's get over to Derek. Tony Bellew says he will take all of the 5 belts back to his family tonight. The ultimate challenge in what he promises is his last battle. 13 weeks of punishing training, the pair. Carl has Bellew 3 up.
Couldn't separate them in the first round, couldn't separate them in the 5th, but giving round 2, 3 and 4 to Tony Bellew without any question, really.
I scored it exactly the same as you, Carl. I definitely think those the 1st and the 5th round are too tight to call.
I gave Tony the first 3 rounds, guys, and I haven't given him a round since. I gave Usyk round 4, and I had the last round even. Usyk's still struggling to get control of this fight, even if he hasn't lost a round in my eyes since the 3rd.
Matt and Johnny behind us have got it 3-2 to Bellew. So close into the 6th round. Few people thought it would. Many talking about a masterclass from start to finish from Oleksandr Usyk. It's been anything but. Tony Bellew has not let him get settled. Nice work from Bellew as he moves around him.
Yeah, good jab then, just shifts off in circles, not straight lines. It's the straight lines, especially against the southpaw. If you go back, you're on the end of punches. Bellew knows exactly what he's doing. He's got bags of experience. He's a top quality fighter. And, you know, you've got to sing the accolades of Usyk, but still a difficult task to try and break down Tony Bellew when he's waiting for you with that big right hand and left hook.
And he's teased us all week, hasn't he? Not telling us his tactics, saying I'll just go and knock him out. But many believe that he would counter-punch, that he would try and outbox the boxer if he could possibly do that, because Dave Colwell's got the tactics right against David Hay a couple of times. Against Makabu, it was more, you know, the thrill of the battle, but hats off to the team at the moment.
Tony Bellew doing a great job with that jab, and as he's backed up looking for the right hand, he's able to jab again. But he is getting backed up here, and the way this is going, if this carries on, you expect it to start to turn towards Usyk, because Bellew using a lot of energy, he's thinking a lot, and he's loading up with big power shots. Usyk, I feel, can keep doing this for longer periods of time, and as it draws on, it will go in his favour.
He's certainly doing far more 3-6 than he did 1 and 2, Oleksandr Usyk. Very tight on line, a lot of people having their opinions, very subjective, of course, scoring a fight. The 3 judges at ringside, ultimately the only ones that matter. Would Tony Bellew's team have taken this at the halfway point, and would Oleksandr Usyk's?
Well, we'll see. I mean, it is very close. I've got Bellew ahead because round 2, 3 and 4 was good, but good right-hand counter there from Tony Bellew, and that's the danger for Usyk if he sits there, but he smiles as that lands. I mean, he had a good round, Usyk, and now he's being backed up with right hands that are landing. Tony Bellew's tactics are good. He looks like he's breathing a bit heavy, and Usyk looks comfortable.
Good shot, Usyk, as we enter the 2nd half. WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, 14 stone 4 cruiserweight belts on the line, the white and yellow of Oleksandr Usyk, who has definitely stepped it up dramatically. Tony Bellew pot-shotting as he lost some of the rounds, though, recently, the British fighter. Usyk growing in confidence and starting to really get his boxing into a pattern, Carl.
He is, yeah, as at the same time, Tony Bellew looks like he's starting to tire and slow down, and he's looking for power shots, which drains the energy. I mean, we're starting the 2nd half of this contest now. I know Tony Bellew's had a fantastic start, but I just feel that Usyk is setting up now for a great finish.
Usyk with a left hand to the body. Does he feel that Bellew's weight making might be an issue? The first time in 2 years he's had to hit 14-4. Dave Colwell was saying he's done it perfectly, cut out the bread, all the rubbish, done it sensibly, but it's still a big ask.
it's a massive ask, and I think David Hayes got something to say here.
Yeah, the body shots from Usyk in this round is a really big body assault from the start of this round. At the end of that round, his corner master said, let's start working Tony Bellew's body. Once you get clipped to the chin and your body becomes weaker and they start having more effect.
Also, Usyk has changed his left hand a little bit. He's sometimes whipping it up from the side now as a hooking position, like that. That's how he hurt Bellew in the last round, and he's starting to throw it differently.
I've got to be honest, I'm looking concerned for Tony Bellew here on his back foot as he sits on these ropes. He's looking a little bit phased and dazed and a little bit tired as Usyk backs him up here.
Comes back with a combination, Bellew, but Usyk just smiles at him through that gum shield, and the left hand working a treat for Oleksandr Usyk.
Yeah, this is the first time in the contest where I feel that Tony Bellew's just breathing a bit heavy and backing up, looking for air. Maybe, I hope he's playing possum, but I doubt it against somebody of Usyk's quality, because that would be dangerous.
11 knockouts on the slate for Usyk in those 15 wins. Both can punch.
Bellew's right hook has worked a treat so far. When he's up against the ropes 3 or 4 times throughout the fight, he swung the right hook and countered and landed on Usyk as he was punching.
Another right hand from Bellew, but it's single shots.
And it can be deterring as well. When you land a big shot and there's no effect, it can put you off and you know, take that confidence away. And Tony Bellew's landed, he's connected with a couple of heavy shots here, and Usyk just comes forward with that smile.
Yeah, he's backing Bellew up again into the neutral corner. There's that left hand. Shown a great chin at cruiserweight, Bellew and at heavyweight, as we saw against David. And now he's going for it. Tries to... Former world cruiserweight champions Johnny Nelson and David Hay here. Evander Holyfield's many picks for the best that's ever lived. Oleksandr Usyk wants to finish his cruiserweight reign here and then move up to heavyweight. That's what 2019 has mapped out. He wants Dillian White. He wants Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, any of those. First, he's got to take care of Tony Bellew, but it's looking brighter for the Ukrainian, much brighter.
Yes, Oleksandr Usyk starting to wear down Tony Bellew now. We can see that the effects of Usyk's constant pressure on Tony Bellew is starting to wear him out. I mean, for Bellew to be able to throw power shots consistently over 12 rounds, the size of him, it's a difficult ask. And, you know, the longer this draws on, the worse it gets for him. But he did the right thing at the end of that last round, because he tried to make it a dogfight.
Blinking a fair bit as well, Tony Bellew. I don't know if something's irritating him in his right eye. Keep a lookout for that. Slight bit of blood to the nose as well. And it's the body language, and it's the physical manoeuvring around the ring of Usyk now. Bellew backed into a corner again, but he will try everything he can, Bellew, even if he is losing these rounds.
Backing off with blood coming out of his mouth, looking a bit unsteady on the legs, Tony Bellew, looking like he's wearing down, and these jabs and left crosses now, like that one, that send the blood splattering.
Yeah, big left hands from Oleksandr Usyk, and trouble for Bellew here in the 8th round. Usyk with a beautiful jab, and he's finding the chin of Bellew with more regularity.
Yeah, really starting to get home now with these quality punches from Usyk, and you can see Tony Bellew wearing down, still looking for that right hand, still gallant and still brave, but Usyk is really closing this gap with real, you know, minimum effort. Good shot.
And that really lights out for Tony Bellew. Dave Colwell straight in the ring. I think he's going to stop it. And Oleksandr Usyk finds the answer and cements his place as the world cruiserweight king. He had a rough start. Tony Bellew gave him problems early, but he was just getting into more of a punishing rhythm and found a shot that laid Bellew out. And Tony Bellew's brave effort comes to an end. But hats off to the way Oleksandr Usyk turned that around and made it his fight and his night.
You know what, after such a fantastic start from Tony Bellew, for Usyk to then turn it around and finish in the way in which he did, you just have to give Usyk massive praise and, you know, accolades. He deserves everything. But Tony Bellew also, what a performance, what a start. That left cross, that looping left cross there, which we've not seen yet on the replay, that put Tony Bellew down, was a shot. Tony Bellew kind of doesn't know where he is yet, but he will watch that back and he'll realise.
It was a spectacular shot from a fighter who seems to have so much. It came out of the blew, but at a time where Bellew just couldn't take something like that.
And Adam, I'm gonna disagree. It didn't come out of the blue. It was an adjustment Usyk had made a couple of rounds ago, adjusting the way he threw that left hand. He kept whipping it around the side, while earlier he had been throwing it straight. And once he started making that adjustment, Bellew never adjusted back to it. He never adjusted to the fact that Usyk changed his trajectory of the way he was throwing his left hand. It's the shot that hurt him at the end of one of the rounds. It was a shot that started landing consistently, and ultimately it was the shot that knocked him out.
And he disguised it brilliantly, though. He'd worked on it, he found the opening, and boom. He was never getting up and going on from that, and Dave Caldwell did the right thing.
No, and Usyk, as he kept landing those wider shots, he kept landing those wider shots, he started throwing them a little harder.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed in that round was the first time in the whole fight, Tony Bellew clinched. He had a look in his face. He had a look in his face that he didn't see before that. You know, his nose was bleeding, and he took his foot off the pace. And, you know, Usyk seemed to grow in confidence. He seemed more solid, more accurate.
I noticed after round 5, David, that, you know, Usyk was coming into the fight looking relaxed and confident, and when them shots started landing,
Tony Bellew was 3 rounds up on one card, 1 on another, and level on the third. But Oleksandr Usyk had the momentum and found the big punch to finish it. And you're right, Paulie, it was so clever.
And honestly, I'm looking at my card now, I had it even as well.
I had it 1 round for Bellew going into that round there.
I don't think anyone can argue. Tony Bellew had such a great start. It was a couple of rounds at least ahead going into that point, but I said that Usyk was starting to enjoy himself, starting to find his rhythm and get into the fight, and you saw that quality there. As Tony Bellew fatigued and started to show signs of wear and tear, Usyk was able to step on the gas and produce that kind of performance. Tony Bellew devastated there, but he's got nothing to be, you know, he should be very proud of himself.
A very commendable performance by Bellew. He made the undisputed champion sweat. At 36 years old, when everybody's counting him out, he made him sweat. Now, at the time of the stoppage, the momentum was going for Usyk, so the second half of the fight would have become very difficult for Bellew. But having said that, credit where credit is due. Bellew made Usyk sweat, and Bellew made Usyk think.
Yep, very good start for Tony Bellew, but Oleksandr Usyk adapted, and he showed his ring craft and ring experience, and it is devastating for Tony Bellew, who just wanted to go out on a high at the end, but what he's done in the last 3 or 4 years has been exceptional from where he was in the sport. And he can be very proud of those achievements. But ultimately, Oleksandr Usyk, a special talent and a special finish.
Well, Tony Bellew was boxing really well from the start. Well, there's the finish there that came at the end. And Bellew was tired there when that left cross landed. And there was no way really of recovering. I'm glad this fight was stopped there, because he would have carried on.
And as Paulie said, he'd tried it a couple of times before, but it was disguised beautifully. Bellew didn't see it at all.
And disguised by a good jab, but again, it was the adjustment Usyk made, a key adjustment he made a few rounds ago. And Bellew, when a guy adjusts to you, you have to adjust back, and Bellew never adjusted to that wide left hand Usyk started throwing.
There was a left cross that landed there momentarily that just shook the legs right before that big looping left cross landed, and you could see that every decent shot of Usyk that landed did cause problems for Tony Bellew.
Yeah, the shot that he got hit with were shots he was slipping earlier on. His reflexes and timing seemed to slow as his energy did. So that shot there, he probably could take that in the first or second round. But when you're tired, when you're moving away from the shot, you know, it has devastating effects.
The effects of them punches are amplified massively when you're tired, and you saw that, and there's the effect of that looping left cross that lands by the quality operator in Oleksandr Usyk. And Tony Bellew left devastated on the floor there, but real magnanimous performance, great, brave performance, nothing to be ashamed of.
unbeaten in 16, retains all 4 belts, and handed that Ring magazine that's around his waist earlier this week before the press conference. Oleksandr Usyk, the future is very, very bright. Will he now become a threat to the heavyweights? I wonder what Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Derek Chisora, who are here, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder will make all of that. Tony Bellew did his best, but ultimately was taken out.
Against Derek Chisora, a big, physical, powerful, durable heavyweight. No disrespect to Chaz Witherspoon, a step up from what he's seen before. How will he cope? Scheduled for 12, and everybody, absolutely everybody, says there's only one way Chisora can win this fight, and that is not going the distance and outboxing this man. He has got to find a way to get Oleksandr Usyk out of there. And the longer it goes on, it's a scuffing right hand there, and then he follows up with the body shot. The longer it goes on, the more you feel Usyk will settle into it. So these are the danger rounds for the Ukrainian, and he's certainly coming out looking to put the pressure on here early.
The size difference even more striking when you see them in the ring stripped off. Bellew has to pressure, just like this, and try not to take too much damage while going in. It's his game plan to try and tire Usyk out, going down the stretch. But to do that, he's going to have to press and take a lot away. Good right hand.
Now, Usyk was susceptible to a couple of counter right hands early against Chaz Witherspoon. They didn't bother him at all. Chaz was a late sub coming in, but there's nothing about Derek Chisora that will resemble Chaz Witherspoon. If he starts catching you with those right hands, you're going to feel him. Anybody would. He's got Usyk's attention early here, that is for sure. It's so different, isn't it, how Tony Bellew boxed him, and Tony's been talking about this week when he boxed him for the with all those belts on the line. He said, I tried to bring Usyk to me. Well, that's why I had some success early, but Chisora's not mucking about with that. He's just going straight in, closing the distance, trying to get the big bombs off. David Hay, his mentor, said, you're going to see Derek Chisora like you've never seen him before. He has to be better than he's ever been before to have any chance. Got the body shot in there at the back end of that little exchange.
He knows he's going to have to take shots on the way, and just like that. He's hoping that as long as he doesn't take anything too significant, he knows this will take a lot more out of Oleksandr Usyk than it will take out of him. Because of the size, because of the extra weight. When he gets Usyk to the ropes, he should be pounding any way he can get. He may not make connection with the face or with the body, but hit him on the arms, hit him on the hips, hit him on the elbows, any way you can, just to start all those little things will start taking a toll. Good right hand.
Shot right hand there from Chisora. And that's one big thing, and look at this. Usyk, well, he's in with a real live heavyweight now, Oleksandr Usyk. And he didn't look too comfortable in there in that first round either. And I was going to say, Andy, just before the bell there as well, the thing we've seen with Chisora over the course of his career, he can absorb a lot of punishment. I remember that Carlos Takam fight not that long ago, and he was just getting battered around the ring, turned it around, got the stoppage. I don't know that Usyk's got the pure power to bother him early. It's whether he can just sustain this. If he can, Usyk's going to be in a real battle for as long as Chisora can keep this going. If Chisora starts to flag, that's when he's in trouble. Another big load up right hand that missed badly. It's if one of these lands.
2 fights ago, Chisora fought Artur Spica, a southpaw, a guy of similar stature and build of Usyk. And the one-punch Chisora's out to land was the overhand right. And you can see he's looking for it here all the time. He's looking to step in with his head crouch and throw his right hand over the top.
Looked good against Spilka, didn't he? Got him out of there very early.
Usyk being clever, not really loading up too much and not holding his feet, always looking to take the distance, take a little step back out of range. I do believe this will be taking its toll on Usyk. The extra weight being pushed around like this, something he's not been used to.
A powerful, physical, big heavyweight. It's the biggest challenge he's faced. And look at this, getting through with those right hands here. Chisora, Usyk in full defensive mode here, and Chisora's not giving him any breathing room. Well, he lands a right hand there. Chisora knows, as you said, Andy, he's going to have to take some on his way in. But are they going to have
another right hook?
Yeah, are they going to have any effect on him? And Usyk is not enjoying this at all. Another look at the referee there. That's always a sign as well. Clinging on to Chisora here, complaining about the low blows. And looking very, very unsettled here, Usyk. Landing some shots. Usyk there. And again, Chisora just trying to close him down. Make this very, very hot. One of the pound-for-pound greats in the game. Chisora sustain this pace for. Round 3. So far, Chisora's been pretty much untroubled. He's taken some shots, but doesn't seem to be bothered by Usyk one little bit. And Usyk has taken some shots as well and does seem bothered. Chisora's just looking to try and bully him at the moment, making that ring small, making it uncomfortable for Usyk.
It's just the extra weight that's making the significant difference here, because Chisora, he might land on the shoulder or on the arm, but it's enough weight and power behind him to move Usyk. Like that there. Half block with the glove, but the half that landed really took an effect on Usyk.
He landed another borderline body shot earlier as well, and Usyk didn't bother complaining about that. Just got on with it this time, and here he is, though, still backing up. There's been no sign of him asserting himself on Chisora yet. I mean, right now, all we've seen from this fight is a guy that looks like he's been physically overmatched, trying to find a way to survive, and Chisora is giving him no breathing space at all.
Landing the odd good left hand down on Chisora as Chisora comes in low, but nothing with any real significant power to trouble Chisora. But they are scoring shots.
Yeah, he'll pick his shots and he'll find those openings, because Chisora really is swinging for the fences here, and he picked up another sharp little right hand there, Chisora.
Good left hand from Usyk, and that one hurt Chisora. That did hurt Chisora. Handed high on the side of the head.
And here in the last minute of this third round, Chisora blowing a little bit. He's got to get Usyk out of there to have any chance, and at the moment Usyk is starting now, for the first time in the fight, to look a little bit more comfortable.
Starting to place his punches, Usyk.
Yeah. And he's making Chisora reach, and Chisora is burning up energy at some rate here. He's put so much into these first 3 rounds. The last minute of this third round is the first time that Oleksandr Usyk has looked remotely comfortable. And I think when he hears the bell, he'll be a very happy man to go back to his corner and feeling, surely, well, I've seen the worst of what Derek Chisora's got. Always a slow starter. If you you're going to get Oleksandr Usyk, you have to get him early. I remember the start that Tony Bellew made. After 3 rounds, you're thinking, oh, is there going to be an upset? And it was from round 4 onwards, really, that Usyk took complete control of that fight. And he was just exhausted at the end of 7. Bellew was saying it's the pressure that he brings. It's relentless and constant. He hasn't been able to bring that pressure on Chisora, because Chisora's been the tough guy in there and lands a right hand. Has to put him back in his place. Usyk loves to apply pressure with that lead foot of his, that southpaw lead right leg, where he always feels like he's in range. Here, he can't apply that kind of pressure, because if he does get in range, Chisora will have a go. That's a different problem for him to solve here. Nice again from Usyk. As you say, nothing devastating there, Andy, but they're hurtful, and there's an accumulation of them that Chisora is starting to see now.
You just can't pin him. Just can't pin him down, Chisora.
Got him there. He's taken some decent shots here, Usyk, from Chisora.
And it's just really the extra weight that's making these punches look so significant, because good overhand right, partially blocked by Usyk there. Doesn't want to be doing this, doesn't want to be allowing Usyk to feint in front of him like that.
Yeah, this is where Usyk wants to be right now. The matador. That's a sign here that Chisora just can't go the full 3 minutes now, here in this 4th round. Oh, here he is rallying again. Great effort this from Chisora. Another one that's borderline, and Usyk didn't like it again. Oh, he's down, he's gone down, but was there a knockdown? No. Footwork. Everything just got tangled up. And I tell you what, Chisora, these last few seconds of this 4th round, regrouped really well, and he's really trying to rough Usyk up and make it hot again. Well, if Usyk thought he had him under control at the end of the 3rd. Round 5 of this 12-rounder. Oleksandr Usyk running with the big dogs, not heavyweight. With a real live one in Derek Chisora, and Chisora is still going for it big time here. Nice combination from Usyk, enough to have a reaction from Chisora.
Good movement there.
Yeah, this is good stuff from Usyk. All off that footwork, which is an absolute joy to watch. Not really seen much of the Usyk footwork through this fight. For that, you have to credit Chisora for rendering it redundant. Hasn't been able to use that footwork, but now he's starting to get those wheels under him here, Usyk, here in this 5th round. That's a danger sign for Chisora.
Timing Chisora well now, Usyk.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, he's swinging and missing a bit now, Chisora. Yeah,
Good job, good job.
Didn't miss with that. Well, he wasn't going to get caught again with those jabs, was he, Usyk? That footwork that just got him out of trouble. Staying in southpaw here, Chisora.
And now jabbing Usyk, something that we didn't expect.
Now he's switched again.
Oh, good left hand from Usyk. Good change of direction.
Good movement again from Usyk. Suddenly that ring doesn't seem quite so small, does it? And that's because he's slowed a little bit here, Chisora. That's all it's taking. And Usyk suddenly has a bit of space, a bit of breathing room, and if he can maintain this space, he'll pick Chisora apart.
Two good shots there. Rock Chisora back on his heels.
Chisora looking to load up again. This is what Chisora wants. Round 6, the feeling pre-fight. I'm sure you agreed with these sentiments, Andy. The longer it went on, the less chance there was for Derek Chisora. Well, we're approaching midway here, and Usyk is starting to look, if not comfortable, a lot more like the Oleksandr Usyk we've been used to watching.
Chisora hasn't taken enough out of Usyk early, when he was fresh, when he had the impetus, when he had the energy to really put it on him. He should have. You hope to drain Usyk and bring him down to his level, but he's not been effective with that. Now Usyk looks quite comfortable. He's got a good rhythm himself. Starting to time Chisora, picking his shots well, changing direction with his feet.
Yeah, he's got Chisora plodding after him here in this 6th round. So good at creating this separation. And that's what Chisora needs a bit more of. Take some of the stuffing out of this guy. Has his chance gone? Nice from Chisora. And a counter left there, Usyk, didn't he? And the jab gets through, missing there though, Usyk, but so too is Chisora. Such a master at judging distance, Oleksandr Usyk. He made a good point. I mean, he was in with some big heavyweights in his World Series of boxing days. Joe Joyce, a big physical heavyweight. Now, and Chisora gets something going here, and Usyk just tucks up, and it's all getting a little bit rough, and I don't think Chisora will mind that one little bit. Really chasing and putting everything he's got into this, Chisora.
But hasn't gone to the body a lot, Chisora. You know, for the bigger man to try and slow down the smaller man, could do with going to the body a little bit more. He's been headhunting mainly in the fight, and Usyk's movement is just too good for that. That was it. Went to the body first, then went to the head.
Just about to say there, and if he doesn't take something out of this round, and I think he's going to here as he tries to get rough again, Usyk will be very, very happy. As Chisora's put in a big shift here with very limited success. He did it. 7. So we're going to round 7 then. Oleksandr Usyk against Derek Chisora, who's had an absolutely terrific 6 rounds. He's had some success. He's pushed Usyk very, very hard. But the Ukrainian is still there. And that is the really bad news for Derek Chisora. That's his best chance already gone. You know, it was all that talk, and there's always talk in boxing about how camps have gone, and everyone was saying that he's in absolutely superb physical conditions, in peak condition, better than he's ever been, Derek Chisora. I think they're right. He looks really very well conditioned tonight.
And he's not out of this fight by no means.
I was going to say, if
he's going to be dangerous for every second of this fight.
If he can keep it going, if he can take it deep. Who knows? I remember thinking after 3 rounds there's a danger he's going to blow himself out, but he's paced it well since then. Still got a long way to go, of course.
Smart work from Usyk here with his right hand. Occupy, and he's using it to jab over Chisora's jab and then move himself to his right and out of danger. Good counter left hook from Chisora.
Loaded up with that right hand that got picked up in the glove. The work rate from Derek Chisora has slowed noticeably. And this is it, this is that pressure that Tony Bellew was talking about, that Usyk is always threatening something. A lovely little Scholten left hand, and then he was out of range and gone. Now, this is how Usyk would like the rest of this fight to be. He's picking a tiring and a slowing Chisora off now here in this 7th round, and Chisora needs to summon up some energy from somewhere. There's not a lot showing from him here in this 7th round. And
he's not stepping across, he's not cutting him off, he's allowing Usyk now just to circle the ring, and he's just following him.
Chasing an opponent in vain will take a lot out of you. Mentally again, as much as anything. Chisora's been doing a lot of chasing in this round. Usyk will let him carry on. Coming looking for him. He's up against the ropes there, then gets out of trouble. Tucked up really nicely there. Usyk. Oh, lovely combination, and that second one stunned Chisora. He was wobbled. Usyk not rushing in, doing anything stupid, but that was a lovely combination, beautifully timed from Chisora. And it hurt him, and he's hurt him again, and Chisora is now in a bit of trouble, backing up and needed to hit. Very slow getting off his stool. His trainer there saying, well, the reason you're getting caught is you're standing still. The reason he's slowed is because of what he's put into this fight so far. How much is left in the Chisora tank?
I don't even think Chisora believes what the corner is saying, that he's winning the fight. I don't even think he believes it.
What else can you say to him, though? You can hardly say, can you? Go on, Derek. You know, you've had your best chance and you're miles behind now.
You can say, cut off the ring. Keep your hands up. Move your head.
Yeah.
He actually said you're slipping too much. You were using a crossbody defense at the start of the fight. It was effective. Now you've completely abandoned that.
In and out of stance again. And it's Usyk, though, that's on the front foot.
Usyk looking for the finish, but Chisora's still dangerous and maybe setting a little trap. Good jab.
Well, this is where a smart, experienced operator like Usyk, he's not going to walk into anything silly. As you say, he knows how dangerous Chisora is, even though Chisora doesn't look like he's got an awful lot left. It's only at this level, against a big opponent like this, one punch can be a difference maker, and Usyk is not going to walk onto that if he can help it. This is smart from the Ukrainian. It's patient and it's intelligent. And he's just doing the simple stuff here, breaking up Derek Chisora mentally as much as physically, and another combination has Chisora rocked. Still a minute to go in this round, and he can pretty much pick shots where he wants now.
If Usyk wants to make a statement at heavyweight, send out a message to Fury, send out a message to Joshua, then he should go and press now, try and get the stoppage.
Just not throwing punches like he was. Just doesn't have the energy here in round 8. And when he is throwing, they're slower. He's telegraphing them, and Usyk is reading them so well. Usyk patient, risk averse. Chisora, he got through with the lead hand there, and then he takes one, and then Usyk creates that distance again. Last few seconds of a pretty uneventful round, but he lands a good combination there at the end of it. Usyk.
Vigor to put it on Chisora when he's tired.
Round 9 then. Nick Halling along with former world middleweight champion Andy Lee here on DAZN.
Cutting punches there from Usyk.
So fresh and comfortable now. It's turned into an Oleksandr Usyk kind of fight, this.
Look for Usyk now to start throwing the left hand around the side, like a looping left hand. He's been throwing it predominantly straight this fight. But I like he did against Tony Bellew to finish the fight. He threw a looping left hand. Something we might see here.
Well, what we're seeing at the moment is Chisora back on the front foot, having taken the last round off pretty much. Oh, this is such a big effort from Chisora. Really has put in a shift tonight. Let's look back to the 8th round. It was all Usyk on the front foot here. Chisora's pushing him back, but can Chisora keep this going?
This could be his last stand, his last big effort. Nice try.
Yeah, Usyk was there.
Big right hand, but Usyk saw it coming.
Yeah, we read it all the way.
Lovely step out of distance from Usyk.
Yeah, it really was. Chisora had a strong finish to this round. He really is putting everything into it. Forcing Usyk back again. Look for the right hand. Chisora. Must be so frustrating for an Usyk opponent. So tough to land clean, isn't it? Getting in close here, Chisora, and had a bit of success, and then Usyk opens that gap up once again. She seems to do so effortlessly.
The first of the signs I can see that Usyk is starting to tire. Maybe not favorite, just starting to tire a little bit. But can Chisora capitalize?
Oh, it's been such a great effort from Chisora yet. Whatever happens from here, you have to admire the performance he's put in. Round 10, a lot of people didn't think it would go this deep, that's for sure. Derek Chisora is still there, still willing, still looking for the big shot that could change everything and that could change his destiny. And Usyk, who looked like he was comfortable a couple of rounds ago, still can't get rid of him.
That's been one of Chisora's best punches this fight, going southpaw and throwing the right jab.
And there he goes again. And he switches back out then. Looking to chase him down. Chisora still looking to just try and get in there, rough this man up. I think this has turned into a much tougher fight than Oleksandr Usyk might have been expecting, you know. Here we are in the 10th round, and still Chisora keeps coming. Big right hand from the London man as well. Oh, what an effort from him. And then a little right hook catches Usyk as well. Suddenly starting to take some shots here, Usyk. He has to fire back. Chisora here in round 10, dragging Oleksandr Usyk into a dogfight. And Usyk wants no part of it. on his toes again. Nice again from Chisora. Working the body. Usyk again circling, looking to move, looking to keep it at range where he feels safe. Lovely little left hand out of nowhere from Usyk. I've not seen a lot from the Ukrainian in this 10th round. And if Chisora was looking gassed a few rounds ago, boy, has he found his second win. And as you said earlier, in the last round, you said that Usyk was looking just a little bit on the weary side. Ooh, that's a nice left hand again from Usyk. Chisora made to miss.
Chisora just can't pin him down. He just can't get him in one spot for long enough to land something heavy.
2 to go then. What encouragement there is in the arena is for Chisora, who has put in a wonderful performance tonight. And he's still there here in round 11. Usyk starting on the front foot here. Chisora happy to take a breather here. Look at this. Well, Usyk didn't rush in there, did he? He wasn't going to walk into that trap. Nice again from Usyk. And once again, Chisora finds something. That's a bit more like it, Usyk. That's another one of those combinations to work. Working the body. That's what you were talking about earlier. A bit late in the day to be working the body, but he went for it there and again there. Chisora switching the attack downstairs here in this 11th round.
But it still doesn't cut him off, still doesn't step across Usyk, step to his left.
Well, can Chisora go to work here? Another thumping right hand to the body. Oh, he took some punishment there, Chisora, but he really is summoning up another huge push here. And he's got Usyk backing up, and Usyk is not enjoying this body attack one little bit. They're getting so animated in his corner, and Chisora couldn't keep him.
He's hurt Chisora.
Yeah.
Big right hook coming off the ropes from Usyk there.
Well, that's he walks onto a lovely little check hook there as well, Chisora. Well, it does beg the question what we've seen here. Yeah, he's shaken Chisora a couple of times, but does Oleksandr Usyk have enough power in his arsenal to disturb the really big heavyweights? A couple of times he's had Usyk in trouble, Chisora in trouble, and Chisora has managed to regroup and fire back. Now, Chisora is hurt, though.
And exhausted.
Yeah, late in this 11th round, there is not much left. Hear those words, 12th and last round. Good fight this has been. Is there any chance that Derek Chisora has saved up something for these last 3 minutes? Anything he's got left, it's time to bring it out. Well, he had that slow start, of course, Usyk, remember, before getting going, and then just when I think most people expected Chisora just to come apart. Well, he's managed to find his second win. Really a testament to the work and the effort he's put into this. All the talk about the dedication and the discipline he's shown in camp, well, it's absolutely right. I mean, absolutely outstanding performance from him. Less than 2 to go. And I don't think Usyk is going to be looking for any dramatic finish here. I think he'll just take what he's got. Another nice shot from Chisora. Terrific reflexes. In the last round of a really grueling fight, and Usyk's got reflexes like that. Takes another body shot, and then comes back with something. Chisora's eating it up all night and still coming back for more. Again, working the body, then switching it back up, but time is against him. He's only got a minute. Chisora here. Countdown is on. Still firing there at Chisora, asking questions right through this fight. A couple of lovely left hands there from Usyk. Well, this is one of the questions that'll be digested over the next few days and weeks. What does this performance say about Oleksandr Usyk operating at the highest level in the heavyweight division?
Well, I think it shows that he's there. He deserves to be at this level with these guys. It's been a great effort by Chisora, but too much class and too much craft in Usyk.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Bob Williams, 117 to 112. Yuri Koptsev and Jan Christensen both scored this bout 115 to 113, all for your winner by unanimous decision. And the new WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Oleksandr
Usyk's got it.
Usyk.
He trudges away. Derek Chisora put everything into that. For whatever it's worth, 116, 112 on this card, but everybody saw it in favor of Usyk. You couldn't really see it any other way. He got those early rounds in the bank, Chisora, and that was never going to be enough. He had to get him out of there.
So let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch ball. Keep it.
Anthony Joshua, one of the best heavyweights in recent memory, a chance to prove it again tonight, but he faces what many consider to be all around his toughest challenge yet. Oleksandr Usyk from the Ukraine, and here we go. Todd Grisham, Darren Barker, and Roy Jones Jr. ringside.
Well, this is what I expected from Anthony Joshua, to come to the center of the ring, but good backhand from Usyk. Good shot. I also expected lots of feints to come from the smaller man from Ukraine, Usyk, trying to get the reaction from Anthony Joshua.
Roy Jones says it's very important for Joshua to get out to a quick start.
It is, but I saw Usyk get off to the start first with a good left-hand lead.
All the talk about Usyk being too small for a heavyweight. He looks the part right now, coming in at over 220 pounds. Joshua closer to 240.
Joshua's very smart to come in bigger because you want to be able to bully him if any chance comes.
Yes, positive work with the feet from Usyk. He doesn't want to give up too much ground, and he hasn't so far.
There's certainly got to be nerves for both these fighters, despite them having fought on big stages before.
I mean, 70,000 people, that's nerve for everybody. Now, I'm nervous.
Oh, nice right hand there from Joshua. That backs Usyk up a little bit. We learned from his fight against Chisora that Usyk does have a good chin.
Yeah, he does. Against Tony Bellew, who was caught with the backhand, shrugged it off. Against Chisora and Witherspoon, he was caught with the backhand. He has a real good knack of taking the sting out of the shot with his footwork and his quick reactions. And he's going to have to rely on those to see this good backhand.
Good left hand there for the challenger.
And Joshua's letting Usyk get too close. If you let him hit him like that a few more times, he'll go down. He can't let Usyk keep hitting him like that. Usyk getting too close to him without him backing up. He feels like Usyk can't hurt him. But Usyk has put some real fear in his heart already.
Yeah, he's good in a good rhythm with his feet here, Usyk. Bouncing up and down. He landed a lovely shot.
2 big shots. That's not good for Joshua. There you go.
Joshua standing right in the middle of the ring, just pivoting on his back foot.
He's trying to answer. That's what you want to see him do.
Good backhand to the body by Usyk.
Usyk has not stood still for a moment.
I've been impressed with the positioning of his feet in this ring. He's holding the center, not getting backed up onto the ropes where Anthony Joshua would like Usyk.
And that's one thing Anthony Joshua should have did right away, was establish himself and back Usyk up. Letting Usyk do that, letting Usyk get too close.
Oh, and another left, a straight left from Usyk, who may have come out here and won this first round. Talk about making a statement in London. Sometimes I have to get burned to learn not to touch the stove. Maybe Usyk was a little too hot to handle there in round 1.
Yeah, smart boxing by Usyk, and again comes to the center of the ring. Plenty of feints, always jerking here and there, trying to get a reaction from Anthony Joshua. That's what Anthony Joshua done so well against Pulev in his last contest. The jab, good variation with the jab. That's what he needs to try and establish into this contest.
Has to establish that. If he doesn't establish that, then it doesn't no good to be the taller or bigger fighter.
No rest for the weary. These guys have come out throwing punches, moving non-stop, fighting like light heavyweights.
And that's what Usyk has to do. He's a smaller guy, and that's what Joshua has to do right there. Use that straight right hand to the body to try to slow him down.
Darren, did you expect Usyk to be so aggressive?
Probably not as aggressive with his feet that he's shown here. Holding the center ring, he has such a good ability to be able to navigate back to the center of the ring without his back touching the ropes. Smart boxing, exactly in the right position. Good jab also by Usyk.
Joshua said this would be a battle of conditioning, and he might be right.
Good feints.
Yes, he's using his feints very good. Now both fighters on. First round, when Usyk was feinting, Joshua wasn't reacting to him. Now he's reacting to the feints and feinting as well.
Good changing the levels by Usyk, head and body. When you're fighting a taller man, that's exactly what you need to be doing.
So many feints from both these fighters.
I don't like that Joshua's not feinting to left, getting back when Usyk feints with that left hand. Because if he keeps doing that, he's going to get caught with the same straight left again or an overhand left, which would be even more dangerous.
See Usyk trying to set up that left hand. Lots of movement. He's trying to get Anthony Joshua to fall over that front foot so he can find that backhand like that.
Usyk going straight after the champ. He is not deterred or fearful at all.
Well, he knows he has the better boxing skills. And right now he's winning the fight with the skills. And he shouldn't be, because this is early. This is when the powerful man or the bigger man should be dominating.
There's a right.
With shots like that.
But Usyk gonna get his right back.
Yeah, good shot to the body.
That's showing you that he's out here to win the fight. He's not out here just...
He backed him up with a straight left at Usyk. He is right up in AJ's kitchen.
You still gotta be careful, because AJ still can take him out with that straight right.
Really working to perfection so far for the challenger.
Well, you got to also remember, though, Joshua has that one-punch knockout power that can get anybody out, so it's not going to be safe for Usyk until it's completely over.
Again, we see Usyk straight to the center of the ring, allowing space behind him. I expect either this round or the next couple of rounds, Anthony Joshua to start stepping forward, really forcing himself onto Usyk.
There's a nice shot from JJ. But every time Usyk gets hit, Roy, he goes right back and gets a receipt.
That you know that his mindset is that I'm not going to be outdone tonight. I'll have to be knocked out to lose, because every time he hits me once, I'm going to hit him twice. And that's what Usyk's been doing so far.
And again, Usyk with a straight left hand. The southpaw scores.
Two big shots straight down the middle of the guard of AJ. He took it well, though. There's that tremendous footwork.
That's what I'm talking about. He's going left and right. He's not going straight down the pipe, so you don't have to worry about running into a big shot. And that's what he has to do.
Shades of Roy Jones Jr. Looking for that backhand again, just misses, but changes the level to the body. Good work by Usyk. Boxing smart.
Can Usyk keep up this pace for 12 rounds?
I think he can, and if he can, this will be something spectacular to see. But when he gets fatigued, he has to avoid those big shots still. Because AJ, like I said, is deadly from round 1 to the end of the fight.
Finding it hard to work out this puzzle at the minute, AJ. He needs to let that jab go.
You got to quit trying to put the punch on Usyk and just throw it. Right now, he's trying to place it on Usyk. That's going to be very difficult.
Starting to close the gap slightly with his feet, AJ.
And what we have to remember is that Usyk has survived the punches such as Tyson and Chisora. So big punches do not scare him at all.
Still waiting for AJ to land a big right hand. Pawing away at the jab as Usyk bounces in, out, and side to side. His fellow countryman Vasily Lomachenko would be proud of the angles he's taken here tonight.
Of course.
There's a straight left right down the pipe again.
He's killing AJ with the feint game, guys. AJ is not used to this feint game from a southpaw.
Oh, whatever.
Oleksandr Usyk putting in the performance of a lifetime.
I told you.
Back on the legs.
I told you.
Back on the legs. The champ is in real trouble here in round 3. Do you believe what we're seeing?
Yes, he's letting him get too close.
Will AJ play it safe, or will he go for the gusto like he did in the first fight against Andy Ruiz? 3 full rounds for the challenger, who's coming up from cruiserweight to try and steal Joshua's world title. That was a slip, but a punch got him off balance.
Well, he just can't get comfortable because all it takes is one from Joshua.
Has to stay switched on, AJ. Deer in the headlights at the minute. Usyk boxing so well. Lots of movement. Really finding the range now with that backhand.
See how Joshua moved his feet back then? That's what he needs to do every time Usyk feints toward him like that. But usually he's not doing it, and that's why he's getting caught with a big shot. Like right there, you got to move your feet back. You can't just move your head back.
This crowd doesn't know quite how to react right now. Just a buzz of uncertainty here from 70,000.
Some marking over the right eye, under the right eye of Usyk.
Now Joshua's reacting better to the feints at least.
Round 4 scheduled for 12. What a heavyweight battle this has been. Oleksandr Usyk has been fantastic.
So impressed with the jab as well. Giving up a few inches in reach, but still managing to out-jab AJ.
Ooh, there's a right hand from AJ. An awkward step there from Usyk, but again, he goes right back into the fire. And for the first time, we've got a clinch. Quickly they're apart.
Look like Usyk has a little cut in his eye.
AJ appears to be getting a little bit more comfortable, and that may not be a good thing as a left cross from Usyk connects.
Exactly what you said, Roy. He's always thinking Usyk, always trying to look for the opening.
Exactly.
Always trying to unlock the puzzle in front of him.
And feinting the man out of position. He's using those feints very good right there to feint Joshua out of position. That's how he's hitting him. He's feinting him out of position first or holding him in place, and then he's throwing a big shot after. Like that.
It's a good response, though, from the previous round from AJ.
Yes.
Regained his composure.
It's been a long time, but we saw Joshua overcome adversity against Vladimir Klitschko. He was dropped in that fight, came back to win. This fight has flown by. We're in the 5th round already. Darren, how do you have it scored through 4 full rounds?
I have 3 rounds for Usyk, 1 for AJ. I thought that was a good response from Anthony Joshua in the last round, but impressive start from Usyk.
You agree with that, Ford?
Yes, I agree with it, 100%.
3-1 for the challenger, who buckled the knees. A sneaky little right uppercut there from Usyk. And of course, AJ was all signed, sealed, and delivered to fight Tyson Fury in the biggest prize fight, perhaps in boxing history. We all know the story. Now he's got Usyk. Imagine what Tyson Fury's thinking right now.
I can take what Tyson Fury thinking. He's thinking that AJ better keep backing up every time Usyk fakes that overhand left, or that fight with Joshua is going to be over.
So much on the line for AJ here tonight.
See that? That's the point I don't like right there. When Usyk fakes down, Joshua does not move back. You have to move back with your feet, just like he did right then.
Good jab from AJ. A good backhand to the body from Usyk. He's down that well, changing the levels again.
Another left hand lands for the southpaw from Kiev, Ukraine. Usyk says that was low. The referee didn't seem to mind. To the body, big hands to the body from AJ.
Yes, very good body shot.
Is AJ beginning to figure him out, Roy?
No, not yet, but he's figuring out that he needs to go to the body more. He is figuring that out.
He's controlling the pace better, though, now, Anthony Joshua.
Yes.
Not getting picked off as much.
Oh, another straight left splits the guard for Usyk. AJ with a right.
This is better stuff from AJ.
But can he hold this for 12 rounds?
Good jab from Usyk. Good footwork from AJ.
You just feel that if Usyk connects with a big shot again, AJ is going to be in trouble.
But you also feel if AJ connects with a big shot, Usyk going to be in trouble.
That's the beauty of heavyweights. All it takes is one.
Oh.
AJ with a right.
Shot.
He's found his confidence.
Yeah, exactly. Took his head off center line and landed the right hand. Good shot.
Let's see if Usyk becomes a little bit more aggressive, as some of these rounds might be tilting towards the champ.
The champ bounced back good those last 2 rounds.
Roy, Anthony told everyone that he changed his approach to training. He didn't hit focus pads. Instead, he works more on the heavy bag this camp. Is that a good thing or bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. You hit focus pads, don't allow you to use your reach as much. Guys throw the punches for you instead of you throwing your own punches. Whereas the heavy bag, at least you get to reach out to the end and hit the heavy bag.
Unfortunately, the heavy bag in front of him right now, named Usyk, does not stand still.
He doesn't.
Good jab by Usyk.
He moves a lot more than the conventional heavy bag.
But now you see Joshua stalking him. This is what Joshua should have been doing from round 1.
Yeah.
Roy, you told us right before the fight you thought Usyk should start turning things on in round 6. Here we are.
Well, a little differently because I didn't expect Usyk to win 3 of the first 4 rounds.
Picking the shots well here, and Joshua. Nice jabs, he's landed the backhand.
And what's fascinating here is that Joshua has actually made a better adjustment than Usyk has. Usually we see Usyk adjust later in the fight. Right now, Joshua has adjusted.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua is stopping Usyk from getting into his rhythm. Plenty of feints of his own. He's mixing the jab up, head and body. He's landed the backhand. This is better boxing from Anthony Joshua.
He's learning on the job.
Oh, good combination from Usyk. Joshua answers back.
But you see Joshua not throwing power on all those shots now, which is what he should have been doing, because now he can wait till he can touch him, and after he can touch him, then he can try to hit him hard.
Anthony Joshua stalking his man now. Starting to push Usyk back in this round.
Downstairs to the body with a left.
Usyk is looking for overhand left right there. Joshua better pay close attention. If he lands it, it might be over with.
The crowd sensing the pendulum is swinging in their champion's favor. Oh, he caught it coming in. Big right for AJ. Can he build on it? 20 seconds to go here in the 6th.
He needs to start trying to find the backhand of his own again, Usyk. He stopped throwing it.
Counter right hook from AJ, straight right. Usyk may just want to scamper around till he hears the bell.
AJ feeling comfortable now.
And that's what he does. Your advice be right now for Oleksandr Usyk.
Get back to the body, start throwing more straight left, and start throwing more overhand left. You gotta hurt him again. And my advice to Joshua would be, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Use that left hand and touch him with shots. If you touch him, you can hit him.
Oh boy, there's your answer from Usyk, and a jab backs Joshua up again. To the body. Right when Joshua seems to be getting comfortable, getting in his groove, Usyk answers back. It is hard to convey the atmosphere these two men are fighting in right now. It is off the charts electric.
Oh, backhand from Usyk. AJ took the sting out of that, just leant back.
But Usyk's punches are not as hard as they were earlier, though.
Straight up with that left hand, right on the chin. Joshua took that one well.
Joshua's punches still have a lot more steam on them than Usyk does right now.
Good jab.
Oh, and a left hand. Joshua put his guard down just slightly, and Usyk made him pay.
He relaxed after he hit it. You can't relax after you hit somebody like Oleksandr Usyk, because he's gonna hit you back.
Yeah, lots of movement. Good jab by Usyk, looking for the backhand again.
AJ's got that smile. We saw it against Andy Ruiz. It's not a good smile.
He's showing Usyk that you can't hurt me now. He's doing a smart thing. He took all the steam off of his punches, and he's just touching Usyk now to keep up with him. See that? A little touch jab.
Oh, left hand. He almost went down. The champ's still on his feet, though.
The feet got tangled up. He did land a good shot, but the feet got tangled up.
Oh, and again.
Got him with a right.
You see right here, Joshua got to go back to his body. Don't go to his head. His head is too hard to hit. Go to his body, he can't get away.
Usyk's having his moment here in round 7. Will AJ stand and brawl?
Good boxing, smart boxing from Usyk in this round. Starting to find the range again with that backhand.
We are watching.
It's giving Joshua confidence.
Usyk says he doesn't fight for money, doesn't fight for fame. He only fights for glory. And he's maybe about 5 rounds away from getting the ultimate glory here tonight.
The only bad thing for Usyk is that his better rounds were the earlier rounds, and in this situation with him being a smarter boxer, he wanted his better rounds to be the later rounds. When I say smarter, I meant by more experienced boxer. AJ has made a lot of beautiful adjustments like that.
I think it's taking some of the power out of the shots as well. He's loaded up too much in the opening rounds. Now he's sort of trying to level up and change the pace of the shot.
That's
keeping Usyk thinking all the time.
That's called making an adjustment. He made a beautiful adjustment with that. That's exactly right.
Joshua's constantly touting his ring IQ, but can he outsmart the ultimate thinker in Usyk, and that right hand connected.
I'll tell you what else I like. I thought Usyk would put pressure on Joshua, but Joshua's actually putting pressure on Usyk. He's staying very close to him, making him stay set. That wears the fighter down as well.
Oh, uppercut to the body. You don't see that too often. And then a swiping right hand.
See, he just touched him. He's not hitting with power shots. He's just touching him, because if he keeps touching him, he'll be able to load up on one soon.
Oh, good shot to the solar plexus from Anthony Joshua.
And now you see Usyk is not as quick to answer back as he was earlier in the fight.
A big swing and a miss there from the challenger, but he connects that time.
It's the first time we've seen Usyk throw 4 or 5 shots on the bounce. Misses with the last shot.
Good shot by Joshua.
The shortest distance between 2 points is that straight right hand from Joshua.
Worked the body well in this round. Anthony Joshua, there's that backhand. Narrowly misses from Usyk.
Roy, you don't normally see heavyweights moving around the ring and with this much activity.
Well, Usyk is a different guy. Usyk is a guy that came up from cruiserweight, so he's a lighter guy. So he's forcing the action to move around. He's moving a lot.
All right, to the body, digging in down low. But almost everyone has it really close.
Yeah, I think it's about even still right now.
So Joshua appears to be right. He said earlier, it's going to be a battle of conditioning. I am in tip-top shape. I will outwork, I will outlast my opponent.
And he's doing it right now. He looks to be the fresher fighter of the two. And see, Usyk is supposed to make him pay off stuff like that, but he didn't. So unless you know that Usyk has to be tired and feeling it right now.
That was a good opportunity for
Yes, it was.
Great observation earlier. Usyk, as soon as he got hit, jumped right back into the fray. Oh, that right hand on the inside. You never know what kind of damage those do, Darren.
No. You'll be feeling those for sure. It's very accurate, very, very, very fast. The ones that you don't see coming do the damage.
And what we don't see now is we don't see Usyk as much head movement as he had earlier. Earlier he was using that head movement right there to get close to Joshua. Now he's not doing it as much. See that right there? He stopped doing that so much. When he was doing that, he was having a lot better success.
Good jab by Usyk.
Usyk's got to find a way back inside.
You got to start back using that head movement right there like he was doing earlier. That was the key for him, but he stopped.
Boxing nice in this round, Usyk. Picked some good shots. Getting back into a rhythm.
Joshua ain't going for the same tricks though. Like I said, Joshua has made some really good adjustments.
Usyk appears to need to find his second wind.
Yes, he seems very tired. Joshua's having fun because he's figuring things out on the job.
30 seconds to go here in round 9 in what has been a fantastic heavyweight fight, punctuated by another left hand from the challenger.
Good body shot by Joshua.
And now Joshua on the front foot towards the ropes.
Good body shot. Now Joshua feels like Usyk can't hurt him anymore.
Good jab. Sharp jab right through the guard. Just misses with the left.
Giving Joshua confident that he's beating Usyk up off of the stool. He's loving that.
Roy, you said this would be Anthony Joshua's toughest fight. You still feel that way?
Of course I do. He had to make adjustments on the fly. He's fighting a guy who had a better IQ in the ring than him, but he's learning from him, and he's taking what he's giving and giving it back now.
That right hand going right at the skull of Joshua, and there's Usyk again with his own left hand.
Hot shot in there, Usyk. Good jab.
Ringside seats were selling as high as 10,000 pounds, and even those seats, you got to feel they're getting the money's worth. A straight left hand from Usyk again, and Joshua's got blood coming out of his nose.
He had that at the end of the last round.
Both men with swelling under the right eye. Oh, nice. Quick little right hand from Joshua.
That's what you got to do. You can't look for the power. You got to use the quickness. Throw power, you'll never catch Usyk.
Real marking under the right eye of AJ. That would be called from the backhand, the left hand.
And there's a big cut now, starting to bleed into the right eye of Usyk. So much on the line here tonight. All of AJ's heavyweight belts. Oh, off balance again with AJ.
Shaking ahead from Usyk. Back to the center of the ring.
And that
boxing.
That battle of the front feet is taking its toll as both men continue to step on each other.
He's looking dangerous here, Usyk. Really accurate in this round.
AJ getting a little more loose with his punches.
Yeah, and that's real swelling now. Look at the eye.
Yes.
He's got a huge mouse under his right eye, does Anthony Joshua. And we're getting set to enter the championship rounds. Usyk is busted up and bleeding. Anthony Joshua's eye is almost closed.
Wow.
How do you like it? AJ and Usyk championship rounds. The jab scoring for Usyk. According to Darren Butler's scorecard, Anthony Joshua's got to win these final 2 rounds.
Good shot by Joshua. Good shot by Joshua. Good straight right hand.
Darren, what are you telling AJ right now?
Force the pace. Don't do anything clumsy. Get behind that jab. Get your foot on the outside of the southpaw stance and try and land that right hand.
And I'm telling him to also go to the body. But I'm telling Usyk to use more overhand left and attack that right hand. The eye is swollen, attack that eye.
Counter right from AJ, throws another right hand. be careful, does Anthony. When he throws those big power punches, he's open for the counter.
Yeah, does not want to be falling over the front foot. Someone with the skill that Usyk has will make you pay.
Good try by Joshua. Very good try right there. This is the kind of stuff he needs to be doing. Changing the pace with the bouncing. The bigger man is bouncing around like he has the most energy. This is beautiful. Makes the little man think that he's not tired. The little man's hesitant about attacking.
See again, terrific head movement for Usyk. Always moving side to side. He's in the jab.
And he always has more success when he uses it moving early.
Good four-punch combination by Usyk.
Usyk senses the moment. He's already become the unified, undisputed cruiserweight champion, and he's perhaps just minutes away from becoming a three-belt heavyweight champion.
You better quit relaxing after he punches because he almost got caught with a big one right there.
Good variation by Usyk, working head and body. Again, we see there the movement. So loose, so relaxed. Oleksandr Usyk.
AJ catches him on the chin when he's that relaxed. It's going to be a good night.
You still sense that we could see a knockout in this fight, despite there only being 3 minutes to go.
Of course, good body shot. Of course, he can.
Usyk is having the fight of his life. This is what you claim you want in boxing. This is the moment. 3 minutes to go. Heavyweight championship of the world hanging in the balance. Usyk coming right after him.
Strong start from Usyk in this round. Landed the backhand. The legs of AJ seem to stiffen for a split second there.
Roy, does AJ need a knockdown?
I think he does. I think he needs a knockdown to win the fight, or to make it a draw at least.
Good counter right hand from AJ.
Good right hand right there by AJ.
And there's Usyk. Oh, double left.
Strange puncher Usyk is.
He somehow finds his target. So unorthodox, but so crafty.
Two overhand left back to back. Who does this?
AJ stalking his man, but not throwing anything.
The footwork won't allow him to throw much.
No.
Usyk trying to send shockwaves throughout the heavyweight division and the boxing world in general. He's got AJ in trouble in London with 1:39 to go.
Tremendous boxing by Usyk. The movement non-stop for 12 rounds.
And with a straight left hand again.
I think AJ's
left
hurt.
hand again.
AJ could be hurt. He doesn't have time to be hurt.
Oh, he really doesn't. You got to try to find one shot. Not give one shot, or not take one shot, but he has to give one shot. Like that one, like that one.
Good action here. Both men looking for the big shot. Good jab by Usyk and followed up by a backhand.
AJ still seemingly not quite fully balanced. A little off kilter. It has been a hellacious battle right from the start.
Yes, it has.
To go.
AJ trying for the knockout, though.
But who gets the knockout?
AJ's trying for what I said.
Oh, big shots by Usyk. He's
AJ
is in trouble.
Do you believe this?
Yes, I believe it. Yes, I believe it.
Alexander Usyk become the heavyweight champion, or did AJ just
117 to 112. Steve Weisfeld has it 116 to 112. And Howard Foster scores at 115 to 113. All three scores go to the winner by unanimous decision. And new heavyweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk.
He fights for glory, and he's found it. And all apologies to Canelo Alvarez, but you've got to say this man has to be, if not the one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, considering what he just did.
Absolutely. What a tremendous feat he has just achieved this evening. Boxed so well. I mean, that was...
Round one. The heavyweight championship of the world on the line. Oleksandr Usyk. The southpaw in the colors of Ukraine, Anthony Joshua in the all-black trunks, just like his boxing idol, Mike Tyson.
In the first fight, Usyk came out very aggressive, was able to back Joshua up right away using that lateral head movement and straight left hands right down the middle.
Well, Usyk said earlier this week, he acknowledged, listen, we've had almost a year to study one another again. It might look a little bit different.
There are also advantages, if you're Usyk, to being able to fight an opponent like Joshua after tasting his power for the first time. It reminds me a little bit of how Canelo Alvarez fought Gennady Golovkin the second time. He was a little more cautious the first time around. 12 rounds of experience with Golovkin enabled him to be more assertive in their second fight.
Well, I will say in the opening minute here, guys, Joshua looks a little less reactive to all the movement and the feints of Usyk. He's not mirroring Usyk quite as much as he was in the first contest, at least in the opening minute.
You know, conversely though, Corey, this fight is once again being fought in the center of the ring, at least in the first minute and a half of the first round. That is an area that Oleksandr Usyk wants this fight to be.
The jab gets through there from Usyk.
The major difference I see already is that Anthony Joshua is bending his legs. He's changing levels much better than he was in the first fight, where he stood very tall and was in range for straight left hands.
Bit of a quiet start here through the opening half of the opening round.
You know, one area Joshua was successful in the middle rounds of the first fight was body shots. That's the best way to slow down the movement of Usyk.
That's the second body shot that he's thrown this round. Just as you said that, Chris.
Yeah, that right hand to the body landed from Joshua. A couple of jabs have got through from Usyk. There's perhaps the first left hand to break through the guard of Joshua.
Joshua being very smart, very economical with his punches, fighting long, throwing right hands to the body and upstairs, but also keeping that up and down movement.
Jab lands from Usyk a moment ago. There's that up jab of Usyk. He can throw it from angles, Chris Algieri, that other fighters just can't.
Absolutely. One, it's for him being a southpaw, having that right hand, that lead jab in front, but also the fact that he's such a loose-shouldered fighter. That front hand is so free-flowing.
Final 10 seconds of an interesting opening round. Joshua trying to make adjustments, but Usyk maybe getting the last word with that left hand.
Operating as a trainer.
Round two underway. Of course, Angel Fernandez, the holdover, if you will, from the old Joshua camp.
And that corner is something that bears watching too, because while Robert Garcia and Angel Fernandez have talked about them being in lockstep throughout this training camp, they have very different training backgrounds, and I'll be curious to see if they're in sync when it comes to the advice.
Speaking of in sync, you heard the word rhythm in the corner. Anthony Joshua is showing fantastic rhythm so far. He's got his level changes. He's moving side to side. He landed a very good straight right hand to the body to open this round.
And what I haven't seen from Usyk yet is kind of unleashing that straight left hand that had success against Joshua in the first fight.
Joshua's been elusive. I wouldn't normally think of him as an elusive fighter, but he's brought a new level to his game tonight.
Joshua jabs back down to the body Usyk trying to get his jab working. That lead hand is always working for Usyk, but Joshua able to come over the top of it and now digs a left hook to the body right along the belt line and a right hand down the middle from Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, that body shot set up that overhand right.
Two punches that were really lacking in the first fight from Anthony Joshua were the left jab, which he didn't land many of. He landed one earlier, and that left hook to the body. Putting those in combination is a great idea for Anthony Joshua.
Joshua just missed with that left hook a moment ago. Perhaps you can speak to this. The posture of Joshua seems a little bit different in this fight. You mentioned the knee bend, but just overall, he seems to be approaching Usyk much differently.
Absolutely. He's being more aggressive. He's being more heavy on that front foot. He's being the bigger man, but also staying low is helping him stay out of range of those shots. There's that up jab again.
Joshua wise to come right back with a jab of his own.
Joshua's putting a lot of physical pressure on Usyk this fight. Very different than the first fight, where Usyk was really the man who's putting on the pressure, both mental and physical.
Yeah, and he's shown good commitment through these first 2 rounds of making sure he's making contact with the body of Usyk, making him think that those body shots are coming.
You know, one constant in the career of Oleksandr Usyk is that no one has yet been able to lead the dance with him. There have at least been portions of these rounds so far where Joshua is the one making Usyk do something that he isn't deciding to do.
Yeah, Usyk is having to work very hard right now to stay in this fight. Oh, beautiful right hand
down
over
the
the
middle
top.
there from Joshua. Final 10 seconds of an excellent round for Joshua, who sinks another right hand to the body of the champion Oleksandr Usyk.
Out there fighting like a Marcos Maidana, a fighter that was one of Robert's charges for many years, fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought recklessly at times. They want Joshua applying pressure, but doing it in a smart way, and he's doing that so far in this fight.
When I was in camp with Robert Garcia, I sparred with Marcos Maidana quite a bit, and reckless is a good way to describe his method of attack.
Well, I think you pointed this out as well, Chris Algieri, which is that, you know, when people heard Robert Garcia in the corner of Anthony Joshua, people immediately thought, okay, he's trying to build a heavyweight Brandon Rios. But Robert Garcia's tactics as a trainer are a little more diverse than that, as Joshua lands a good right hand.
I love what Joshua's doing. He's responding to every combination that Usyk throws with a body shot. Very smart to make sure that he's answering the punches coming at him, just like Usyk did in the first fight. But yes, to your point, Corey, you know, Robert Garcia was a phenomenal boxer puncher as a champion himself, and just because he was known from training Bam Bam Rios, he's got a different kind of athlete in front of him now in Anthony Joshua.
You're seeing the athleticism of Anthony Joshua in the early going here, the ability to make adaptations to his game. See the weight out on the front foot, changing levels now with Usyk, and look at Joshua with the head movement getting out of the way of the jabs of Usyk.
Excellent rhythm from AJ thus far, keeping that slight tick-tock and up and down movement.
Joshua said that the key for him in this fight is to worry about what he's going to do offensively and not be so concerned with what Usyk's doing and how he can react to it.
I tell you what, again, a lot of it has to do with Anthony Joshua, but I'm a little surprised that Usyk has kept that left hand holstered as often as he has.
Usyk lets go of that left hand. One of them lands, one of them sails past the body of Joshua, but Joshua now looking for a big uppercut, but he gets met with the left hand that you were calling for, Chris Mannix. Usyk starting to flow with his combinations a little bit more here.
You're already starting to see the adjustment from Usyk. He's starting to up the punch output. He's upping his lateral movement.
Usyk is one of those fighters, too, whether it's a Lomachenko or a Terrence Crawford. They collect data in the early rounds of the fight. They see how a guy is going to fight you and make adjustments accordingly.
Good right hook moments ago landed by Anthony Joshua.
Oh, left hand. Joshua, as he has for all 3 of the rounds thus far, waiting till the last moment to step off his stool. Interesting in the corner of Joshua as well. One of the party lines from Joshua's new camp and Robert Garcia has been positivity all the time in trying to instill in Anthony Joshua that the Joshua of old can be tapped into, that he hasn't lost a step, and trying to instill in him that he can take some of those old tactics and bring them to Oleksandr Usyk tonight. Very upbeat corner for Anthony Joshua, at least to this point.
A little more assertiveness from Usyk over these last couple of rounds. You can see him start to settle into this fight.
Like you said, Chris, he's got that analytical mind, and you see him collecting the data, starting to get that right hand going a little bit more, starting to land that left hand, finding his angles like that.
A little more bounce in the step of Usyk as well, who comes right through the middle with a left hand.
I love the way how Usyk will throw away his lead hand to land his left and punches to where AJ's going to be, not where he is. Nice up jab from AJ there. He's actually learning tricks from Usyk as he goes.
Joshua looking for that uppercut to the body. He's had some success throwing that right hand downstairs. Throws that one to the gloves of Usyk a moment ago, but Joshua just generally looking more threatening than he did in the early stages of the previous fight.
Aside from his posture and moving forward, I think that has a lot to do with his balance. He's definitely seems much surer on his feet, and I think getting lower using those legs has been a big benefit for AJ and his power punching.
Good left hand there from Usyk. Now tries to wrap one around the guard of Joshua.
You know, I would say this. I mean, Joshua's had success in the early part of this fight, but the real estate this fight is taking place in, it's almost identical to where it took place in the first fight, right near the middle of the ring.
Right in the middle of the ring, they traded some shots, and Usyk landed a good right hook.
Usyk actually put together a nice series of punches, a straight left hand to the pit of the stomach and a right hook up top. Anthony Joshua answered with a right hook himself.
Both men go to the body. Usyk tries to come over the top of the left hand.
That's the second big adjustment I've seen in this fight, is the fact that Joshua is answering every combination that Usyk throws. He did not do that in the first fight.
Hard left hand down the middle from Usyk once again. This is high level.
I've got it 2-2 even up through 4 rounds of this fight. The key right now for me, first 2 rounds, Usyk kept that left hand pretty much cocked, not throwing it with any type of repetitiveness. Last 2 rounds, started to let it go a little bit. And look, Joshua is trying to make it more physical, but this is still a boxing match. And all we heard all week long, even from members of Joshua's team, is that he can't win a boxing match. I'm curious to see if at some point he tries to make this a more physical fight.
He offers a big sweeping right hand there, caught on the left glove of Oleksandr Usyk. And part of the issue of dealing with Usyk, Chris Algieri, is how draining, both physically and mentally, it is, seeing the constant motion, the constant adjustments of Oleksandr Usyk, both with his hands and his feet.
It's also the fact that you're dealing with almost a different fighter every round. He builds as he goes. Like right now, we're seeing that movement to the right side, getting outside, staying invisible to Anthony Joshua while throwing punches down the line. I mean, the mental pressure is probably harder than the physical pressure from the smaller man.
And this is something Usyk did really well in the first fight. You're starting to see shades of it right now, but there's a body shot. Did that one stray low?
Yeah, that was below the belt line.
Yes, it did.
Even when he's not trying to be, Usyk can be funny.
I'd love to see the replay and see how low that actually was.
It looked like he caught him maybe on the thigh of that left leg.
Those hurt, and those can linger with you, especially from a big man like AJ.
Right, it might not be a legal shot, but it's not like it didn't do some damage. But prior to that low blow, I was mentioning, Chris, one thing Usyk did really well in that first fight was force Joshua to punch too far across his body and getting him off balance for counters.
Absolutely. So so that's what I meant by staying invisible. He stays outside that lead leg beautifully. He fights like a southpaw should. He moves to his right. He stays outside the lead foot. He's very difficult to hit with anything flush. His ability to keep that head off the center line makes him a very difficult target. Like that. Beautiful counter over the top with the jab. And that's the thing with Usyk. It doesn't have to be a power shot because he hits you with shots you're not ready for and that you don't see.
Your chance for both fighters here in Saudi Arabia. Both men fan favorites.
This is where Usyk is a very dangerous man. Once he finds his rhythm, he starts feeling conky and confident in himself. Oh, beautiful straight left hand.
Good shot there. And there were stories about the ferocity of Usyk in this camp from some of his sparring partners. One of his partners said, he called me while he was on the plane, coming home from the press conference, and said, we're sparring when I get off this plane. And he said he looked scary in that session. And Usyk starting to build with intensity. Round 6 underway. Oleksandr Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion. Anthony Joshua trying to become a 3-time heavyweight champion.
Usyk coming out using great side-to-side head movement, good feints, firing from his movement.
It was good anticipation there by Joshua. Saw Usyk about to duck down, hit him with a good left.
I love that left hook to the body. That was a punch that was severely lacking in the first fight and something I figured he would be working on with Robert Garcia.
There's Usyk with a little body work as well. Left hand downstairs, a right hook right along the elbow of Anthony Joshua.
Now you can hear the corner of Joshua calling for that double jab. They want him to operate behind that. And right now, he's only sort of flicking it out there, not throwing with any kind of purpose.
Yeah, he's using it as a pawing rangefinder once again, which I think is very dangerous. He came out in the first round snapping the jab. He actually landed several good shots with that left hand early on. There it is again.
Usyk comes over the top of the jab again, circles out to his right. Joshua still dangerous with each and every shot, and we saw that in the first fight. You know, we look back on that first fight as a masterful boxing performance from Oleksandr Usyk, but it wasn't like he didn't have to battle through adversity, and it wasn't like he wasn't hurt at times in that fight either.
Absolutely, Corey. I mean, Joshua did a lot of really good things in that fight. He's a dangerous puncher. He's a very sharp, technical puncher. Beautiful body work here by Joshua as Usyk touches the ropes.
Final minute of round 6. As Joshua continuing to have success to the body when he is targeting the midsection.
Got some swelling again over the right eye, which we saw in the first bout as well. Oh.
Good combination from Usyk. A snapping right hook coming around the guard of Joshua.
That's one thing we're seeing earlier tonight is the combination punching from Usyk. Nice straight right hand. Feinted to get the opening there.
Usyk comes right back with a combination of his own. A right hand connects. So does a left hand. Now it goes back downstairs. And a jab up through the guard of Anthony Joshua.
Notice how Joshua is no longer responding to those combinations like he was in the earlier rounds.
Round 7 begins. And that's what makes Oleksandr Usyk so special. He isn't just a good boxer or a good defender for a heavyweight. He is a good boxer and defender at any weight. If you were to shrink Usyk down to any other weight class, he's still a spectacular boxer.
Well, that's the thought experiment of the pound for pound, is
Right,
it not? And,
right.
And all of the pound for pound greats have always had great defense.
The rough stuff on the inside here. And on that pound for pound list currently, Ring Magazine has Usyk #2. Usyk trying to become the first man to win both the ring cruiserweight title and the ring heavyweight title with a victory tonight.
He's Sports Illustrated's #3 pound for pound, Corey.
Joshua loads up with a big sweeping right hand there. Misses Usyk as he slides off. Robert Garcia was calling for pressure in the Anthony Joshua corner.
Well, and there seemed to be the belief, there was the expressed belief in that corner that the pressure would eventually break Usyk down, that they're seemingly happy with what Joshua is doing so long as he keeps going to the body and so long as he stays in front of Usyk.
That's an interesting thought to me. I'm not reading that at all. I don't see that. First of all, I don't see a ton of pressure being applied to Usyk. I also don't see him breaking anytime soon.
Yeah, if you're expecting Oleksandr Usyk to break down, a guy that's been in several championship-level distance fights, that might be wishful thinking.
And against guys with a much higher output than Anthony Joshua.
Well, one positive for Joshua, guys, according to CompuBox right now, Joshua has landed 16 body shots. He only landed 15 total in the first fight. So there is something, perhaps, to what Garcia is seeing.
Oh, there's absolutely been a tactical adjustment from the Anthony Joshua side. Body shots being a major part of that.
Speaking of body shots, there was a good one from Usyk a moment ago. And there's a sharp left hand just coming right from the shoulder. It snaps the head back of Joshua, and another one, and another.
That was a sneaky left hand from Usyk there on the inside. It seems like AJ seems to be falling into some of those old habits and needs to make an adjustment himself.
Usyk just batting away the lead hand of Joshua. Goes back down to the body where he has had success in this fight. But he's falling into the dance of Oleksandr Usyk once again as we come to the end of round 7.
Chris Algieri are just, they're basic boxing at its best. Just simple slips, left, right. He's not doing anything special. He's just doing it at an extremely high level. So once again, we have the issue in the center of the ring where there's some condensation. I saw Joshua during that last round slip a little bit and look down. Now we have that problem once again.
Yeah, for those of us just joining us, we had this issue in the fight prior where we had two heavyweights that were slipping consistently, especially as the rounds wore on.
Yeah, Zhang Zhang actually fell down after slipping in the ring.
Now Joshua himself will get toweled off as well as we await the true start to round 8. Here we go. You know, back to the slips of Oleksandr Usyk as well. You know, oftentimes we think of head movement as just a defensive mechanism in boxing. For Usyk, it's a predecessor to his offense as well. It is making you consider just where that left hand in particular is coming from.
Well, yeah, it's a setup, and it's also, it blinds his movement. He's not an in-and-out boxer where he's changing his critical distance line. He's a side-to-side fighter. He moves laterally, so it allows him to always be in range to counter. He takes those little slips, and he's right there to hit you with the counter shot, which we've seen consistently tonight. There it is again. Beautiful slip, inside, outside.
Oh, good body shot from Joshua.
There it is again.
Goes back downstairs with the left hook.
Certainly not a direct comparison, but I was thinking of the George Foreman-Michael Moore fight. George Foreman being the bigger guy, the power puncher, fighting the southpaw. He used sweeping left hands to walk Moore into a right hand. I feel like that would be a great tactic for Joshua.
In the latter half of the 8th round here, Joshua's put together a couple of good sequences with body shots in this round and just misses with that right hand. I think Usyk just pivoted at the right time out of the way of that one.
For Joshua, you have to stay committed to that body. He had 2 really good body shots early in the round.
The problem with fighting Usyk is you can never build on anything. Beautiful right uppercut to the body. Oh, and
Goes
again.
back downstairs and a 3-punch combination to the body as Usyk wraps him up in the center of the ring.
So what looked like a little wince of pain from Usyk as he tied up. Those are some brutal body shots.
Probably the best combination of the fight for Anthony Joshua.
The most damaging for sure.
Can Joshua continue to find routes to the body or use them to create a route for a big right hand? Combination from Usyk, but a slapping right hand there from Joshua as well.
The elusiveness and the combination punching is proving difficult once again for Anthony. Ooh.
Uppercut on the inside from Usyk, but body shots from Joshua. The best action of the fight at the end of round 8. The trilogy, Canelo and Triple G3, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, live on DAZN pay-per-view. Round 9 now underway. Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua. Joshua perhaps finding the true key for him in this fight in round 8. Those hard body shots.
Usyk just so clever, comes back with body shots of his own. He's able to slide off. Like I was alluding to last round, Usyk is so hard to build an offense against because he changes up so often. Changes his rhythm, changes his angles, changes which punches are working.
Shot to the body from Joshua, counter right hook up top from Usyk.
Oh, good
another
body shot
uppercut
again.
to the body from Joshua. Little lapse in concentration, a rarity from Usyk as he gets met with a jab as they come out of the break. A little less movement from Usyk in this round.
I was just going to say that. The head movement specifically, a little bit more of a stationary target in this round.
Joshua's having a good round right now.
Well, is Usyk perhaps feeling the effect of these body shots now?
They have shown to slow Usyk down in the past.
Pair of sweeping hooks there from Joshua connect. Joshua again to the body. Now making it rough on the inside.
I love the use of the left hand by Joshua. Throwing those left hooks high and low, now making it rough.
Very rough, and he'll be warned for a hammer fist there, I think, on the inside, but not for long. As Joshua now in pursuit. Usyk. He is on the run right now. 45 seconds remaining in round 9, and Joshua finally has been able to pick the safe of Oleksandr Usyk.
Oh, nice left hook over the top. Joshua's picking his punches very smart.
A sustained body attack from Anthony Joshua as he's finding true confidence in his offense for the first time in some 21 rounds with Oleksandr Usyk.
This has been the most dominant round that Joshua has shown in both fights. Oh, good body shot on the inside.
Asserting physical dominance.
Best round of the fight in that last round for Anthony Joshua. It's a good word to choose, Chris. Bully. That was the first time we've seen Joshua in 2 fights with Alexander Usyk assert his physical dominance. And here comes Alexander Usyk right back out throwing punches.
Look at that frenetic movement, just in and out. He's picking up the speed and the output.
Trying to erase the memory of an excellent round for Anthony Joshua, and some good shots land from Oleksandr Usyk.
That check hook from Usyk was very sneaky.
Oh, big left hand connects from Usyk. Usyk firing back.
Joshua's in a little bit of trouble here.
A big reply here from Usyk after a dominant round from Anthony Joshua. Now it's Usyk who's firing away.
Usyk has the tendency, whenever you have a good round against him, he comes out and he makes you pay for it.
And Joshua's dipping right into that right hand of Usyk every time.
Joshua still stalking forward. Now Usyk digs to the body. A left hand downstairs, but Joshua meets him with a right hand.
That shot rocked him.
That one rocked Usyk. Usyk having a look over at his corner.
He was looking at the referee.
Yeah,
He thought that was below the belt.
Was that okay?
Yeah.
Regardless if it was low or not, he was rocked upstairs. You know, and I've said it many times in the build-up to this fight, Anthony Joshua is dangerous at all times. He has the power, he has the sharp punching.
And that includes when Usyk gets on a roll and is really flowing offensively. One straight right hand, and Joshua is back in the round. But look at Usyk once again, uppercut and a right hand.
Now, Usyk is not your typical, or atypical, one-punch knockout puncher. How he hurts you and how he gets knockouts are an accumulation of punches, which we're seeing right here.
Usyk is not your typical fighter overall. He is not your typical person. So much on the line, so much on the shoulders of Oleksandr Usyk.
You see Joshua a little bit too straight-legged right now as he stands back against the ropes.
That's not a good sign. When you put yourself on the ropes, it's generally because your legs are tired or they're shot.
And you saw that, Chris, in the 12th round of their last fight, where Joshua needed to come out with some urgency, and it was Usyk going for the knockout at the very end.
Yeah, I thought in the first fight it was more exhaustion than the fact that Joshua was hurt at the end.
Another
that he was
right
taking all that
hook
damage.
From Usyk. Punches raining in from the Ukrainian champion.
Good
down
body
to
work.
the body and now upstairs. Usyk sitting ringside.
Evander Holyfield, given his history, probably thinks this is a sparring session.
As round 11 begins, it was a massive round 10 for Oleksandr Usyk. And guys, we talked about Usyk's ability to make adjustments. Well, how about the adjustment he made in that last round? Not just to stop Joshua from what he did in the 9th, but come back and return the favor. You hurt me in the 9th, I'm going to hurt you bad in the 10th.
Yeah, and one step above, which is, you know, the kind of competitor that Usyk is. Usyk is still looking very fluid, very explosive here in the 11th.
Cracking right hook there from Usyk. You could hear that one.
And once again, it doesn't have to be hard, especially if your opponent doesn't see it.
Body work in reply from Joshua, but Usyk again, back to that pace, giving Joshua something to worry about, something to occupy him, either mentally or physically, at every second of this fight.
Notice the legs now of Joshua standing very tall. He's not as low as he was earlier in the fight. Good body shot there.
Good body shot lands from Joshua. Usyk wise to tie up there and thwart the momentum. You definitely don't want Joshua flurrying to the body. He can still be dangerous.
Usyk's been very good at that this fight. When Joshua does get him pinned against the ropes, he ties Joshua up. Anthony's got to find a way to create a little bit of separation in situations like that.
Yeah, when he keeps Usyk in that middle distance like he did in round number 9, he was able to rattle off combinations and do a lot of damage.
About 10 seconds ago, Usyk slipped a body shot, rolled out of the way of a body shot, came back with the left hand.
Joshua actually initiated that tie up there. There's that up jab again.
And there's the up jab from Usyk again. Just batting the lead hand out of the way from Joshua and coming up through the middle.
It's a really impressive surge the last 2 rounds for Oleksandr Usyk.
Especially coming off that 9th round. Those punches just missing.
This was a fight that could have gotten away from Oleksandr Usyk. He looked like he was starting to weather from the body shots in round 9.
Good body shot again. Looked like a little shot on the break there from Anthony Joshua.
Deep breath from Usyk as well. But a fantastic round from the champion once again. And a little plate.
And there you see Oleksandr Usyk on my scorecard, 106-103. Anthony Joshua needs a difference-making knockdown or a knockout on my scorecard to win this fight.
And we would suspect there was desperation in the corner of Anthony Joshua. In Usyk's corner, it was almost like Usyk was meditating, talking to himself, trying to find 3 more minutes to hold on to all of his heavyweight titles and to become the Ring Magazine heavyweight champion as well.
And he can't be confident either coming into a fight like this that he's got this decision in hand.
And he doesn't look like he's fighting that way either. He looks like he's coming out to win the round.
Hard body shot from Joshua a moment ago. He's going to need more of those. He's going to need shots like that one. The right hand.
That was a really good straight right hand that rocked the head back of Usyk.
Usyk bobbing, weaving, letting his hands go constantly.
Oh, good answer with a 3-punch combination from Usyk.
A big right hook ended that combination. The exclamation mark from Oleksandr Usyk.
Yeah, you're really seeing that fatigue and that frustration in Joshua right now. Whoa,
big left hook from Joshua. A right hand as well. Good reply from Usyk as he goes back down to the body and runs the combination upstairs.
And Joshua gave Usyk that opening to reply like that. If you're Anthony Joshua in this situation and you land a punch that does damage on Usyk, you've got to follow it up and sell out in this situation.
Yeah, the sustained attack has been what's been missing from the game plan. He's been landing great shots. He's had Usyk stunned several times and hurt to the body.
Trade shots in the center of the ring there. The jab of Usyk, the right hand of Joshua. Joshua looking fatigued, but to his credit, trying to crowd Usyk here, but he has just 60 seconds to make something happen.
And that's to your point that you said a few rounds ago, Corey. Even if he's tired, even if he's hurt, he's still dangerous. Anthony Joshua can hurt you with any punch.
Oh, big right hand from Joshua, but Usyk just will not stop throwing. A defiant 12th round here from Oleksandr Usyk, who, guys, probably doesn't need to be trading like this with Anthony Joshua, but the heavyweight champion is acting like one right now.
Before he was a champion, he was a warrior, and he's acting like one right here. He wants to put an exclamation point on this fight.
The final moments of our main event has Oleksandr Usyk held on to those titles. That is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Jeddah in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Glenn Feldman scores at 115-113 for AJ Anthony Joshua. Steve Gray scores at 115-113 for Oleksandr Usyk. And Victor Feschenko scores at 116-112 for the winner by split decision. And still the unified heavyweight champion of the world from Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk.